That's a bit Channing Tatum-y, isn't it? I feel like Channing Tatum would do some sort of Magic Mike, like sit that like. Wow, I don't know what this. I don't know what the song. They always have like a one of them. I feel like that's Channing Tatum, isn't it? Oh, I actually heard the water move in my fat belly. Ooh, see that? It was like a crazy little shoot back, like a crazy little cock back, like a just ba ba bay, ba ba bay. Hello visuals, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the visual guys, Canoosy News, where it's another beautiful weekend. When I say beautiful, still fucking hell. We should give thanks though, it's another beautiful day where we get to live and experience life and all its possibilities and all the things that it can be, like riddled in debt and gotta work a job you don't like. I love it. It is another weekend, it's another weekend of Premier League football though, I can tell you that now, because football is still back. Well, it's still going to be back. We're not here to talk about football, Jan. We're here to talk about the more bold I get, the more I just fully notice how large my forehead is. Like, I don't think I have the forehead of a normal person. Hey, that's bigger than my willy. You know what I was doing before I started filming as well? Start again. Before I started filming, I have the camera up and I just sort of look about and I think we're very straight. Well, we're not straight on this channel at all, but I don't think I'm very... There we go. I was doing something, just like messing around, and I found like one of the most disgusting things ever. Just watch this. Why the fuck does it look like my entire bottom part of my face just sit like, you know, like something crooking and like, is it zero pressure or zero air or sort of shit, just like... Like, I imagine that's what the fucking Oceanic Express fucking something was, whatever the fuck it was called. I don't think that looks minging on other people, just... I'm fucking hideous. Nothing right without being a fucking ugly bastard. I feel like we should maybe start doing the videos like this, like an actual therapy session, like, hey Doc, I've just got the sudden urge to go express my love and my intimate feelings towards cows. I want to sleep with a cow. I want to play with its udders. I want to sleep with it, you know, I want to sleep with its udders. Shows cow, because if you listen to the podcast, you know that go check out Dan's Talking Crap on Spotify. You know that I have a weird obsession with cow mess. Like their back end, why it's like never wiped and shit. It's always fucking vile. God designed a creature that needed to poo, and it's sort of like sitting and doing it just falls and drops, and I've had a weird obsession for years about how cows dump. Specifically, actually, I saw a video a couple of weeks ago with my girlfriend speaking about cows, and it was all about how weird must it be being a cow. Like, you go out your house or whatever, and you just see, there's just food everywhere. But like me walking out, or you walking out, just seeing like fucking burgers and pizzas and chips everywhere. It'll be fucking strange. What I do from now on, we'll do the lay down Dan therapy session. It's no longer the news, it's Dan's mental and he's crying for help. Don't actually ring somebody saying there's a fat fuck online who's gone mental. He might end up being a fucking, I don't know, an Asda thief, a mass Asda thief. I wouldn't do anything extreme to people. I wouldn't be out there fucking doing like mass murders and shit. I'd be like, I don't know, going nuts and stealing everybody's bread and being like, ha ha, make your sandwiches now, ha ha. It's not life-threatening, but just a major inconvenience. Actually, as well, I think it'd be quite satisfying making bread. I've always wanted to, like, is it when you knead the dough? You've got to knead the dough. And they fucking put it down and you fucking go, you dirty little bitch, and you fucking and you just do all that shit. I feel like that's what it's kneading the dough. I hear about like yeast. I hear about the word yeast, and yeast is a disgusting word. That puts me off anything. Oh yeah, it's got yeast in it, because people can get yeast infections, can't they? But I thought yeast was in bread. So why the fuck have you got yeast in you? Can I go to a random human being and fucking turn them into bread? Can I knead a human into bread? Just because there is a saying in there where this was obviously when somebody sometimes dies, they go, oh, the brown bread. I know it's like Cockney Rhyme and Slam or whatever the fuck it is, some shit. And they say, oh, the brown bread. Does that mean, have we got fucking bread in us? So it's why I'm a bit like podgy and stuff, because apparently bread's not very good. Bread and pasta and all that stuff, and I love me a cheesy pasta. Well, I'm a bit of a podge as well because I just love a bit of bread and meeting the dough. How are you lovely, beautiful bastards doing? Thank you again as well lately for constantly everything you guys are doing, coming on videos and not literally coming on videos. Imagine that somebody sat at home now, somebody like an Andy Pipkin from Little Britain lookalike just watching me being like... and then eventually till climax over the TV screen it's just me like, hi, I'm coming in here. God, that's not fucking true. Actually kind of fucking weird, isn't it? Because obviously, like, imagine being a major celebrity in like a film or whatever and you're doing this portrayal and performance and there could be somebody on the other end of the screen that you don't know doing absolutely anything, like fucking causing a fucking bleach, making bleach, or having it. The Netflix one must be the worst because you're like an actor or whatever, you're doing a performance and the other end of the screen is somebody being like, get me willy out, get your tit out, let's make love, because that's what sex is, a dick meets a tit in it. Kind of sword fight. Weird in general being a celebrity. Imagine just trying to go to your local fucking Tesco for some a meal deal and a fucking, I don't know, a couple of Kinder Buenos or some shit, and then you just can't without people like, oh my god, Keanu Reeves, when's the next fucking Matrix, when's the next John Wick, oh Keanu Reeves, like, listen, look, I just want my meal deal, I want a cheese and ham sandwich, I want a bottle of water, and I just want some Dorito crisps. I don't know if they actually come in the meal deal, I don't get meal deals, but I wonder. There's more to life when you really think about it, isn't there? What is the ultimate meal deal? What is the most unflattering pose? It could potentially be this. Ow, I keep doing that. Visuals, right? If I ever get close to the wet, if you know who Boogie... Fuck, oh, what the fuck's that? Boogie fucking what, you know who I mean. If I get that close to the size, please start getting in the comments be like, Dan, need to lose weight, you are extremely fat, you ugly bastard. I could never get to that size whatsoever. I mean, I could from sheer lack of dieting and my fucking diet being a combination of a fucking 60-year-old's meal, fucking turkey dinosaurs and chips and stuff like that, no fucking veggies. I sound like my girlfriend, you need a better diet, less coke, less smoke. I like to smoke, I like a coke. Leave me alone. You see me like Boogie and we have to do some sort of famous YouTuber, because I'm obviously famous on YouTube, man. A boxing match and I have to get in the ring and be fat boy versus fat boy. Please say, Dan, just stop. Stop. Get some help. Anyway, without further ado, we don't want to keep it. The dog, once again, it's another episode without the dog. I've said this loads lately as like jokes. He's like, oh, the dog doesn't like me. He genuinely fucking hates me. I really do think the second he was sat here chilling, the second I started talking, recording and whatnot, the second I started up and went, up and see you later. Is there a thing that triggers dogs like can they actually get annoyed by their owners being like their voices and shit constantly going and noises and shit like that? Dog, he fucking hates me. This is a debate. This is a religious debate versus the Jeebus man or my Jeebus man, Spider-Man, because crucifixion of Jesus appears on the side of a tangerine. I have no idea what the fuck a tangerine is. I thought a tangerine was a fucking musical instrument. What the fuck? Or is it Spider-Man? Straight away when you look, you can see the whole, oh, Hamaste, Hamaste. But you can also see Spidey up against the boat trying to web it all in and bring it all in together and whatnot like that. Of course, I'm going with my Jeebus man. I can see the spider, but can you see the Jeebus man? Which one is it? Jeebus man versus Spider-Man. Jeebus, Spider, Hamaste, Namaste, or... I'd be a horrible web slinger, wouldn't I? The fuck? This one's a bit of a sad and scary story, I guess. It's the name that makes it a bit like, what the fuck? Because Thea's Gimp Man has returned after latex wearing, I think, ambushes couple on the way home. There was a Gimp Man. There was a Gimp Man origin story. Now we have the return of the Gimp Man. The Gimp Man has returned. He had an origin story, all latexy and minging, and now he's returned and he's stalking people on the way. Like I said, that's the sad part. You don't want to be dressed up all late, because the idea of getting in that, because to me it's not scary. It is kind of claustrophobic, because I'm not claustrophobic or whatever, but the idea of being something so tight and hot then makes me claustrophobic. Like I just said, I'd be a horrible Spider-Man in that tight suit, like, powder, powder. It sounds fucking disgusting and horrible, but the fact that there was a Gimp Man Origins, now there's a Gimp Man Returns. We're going to get a Gimp Man trilogy here. The worst well, he could be a superhero, I don't know. Batman looks threatening to some. We have pity. Sometimes he saves people and they're like, shh, it's still here. Man could be a good guy. I'm a good man. Place penis in here and I will save the day. Student who pelted eggs, or egg or whatever, at I think it was the king and queen at the time or whatever, banned from carrying eggs in public. Imagine that. Imagine on your rap sheet. We spoke about fucking hardened criminals before, like, hey man, I'm in for arson, grand theft auto, I'm in for murder, I'm in for, you know, gang activity. It was me that plotted the JFK assassination. And you got people, you know, hey, I'm gonna go make a war against North Korea. It was me that started the war with North Korea. What's your rap sheet? I can't carry eggs. I can't. If I'm on the street with eggs, it's a no-go. Police attack me straight away. It does. Do you know what I mean? You can't be in the... Because you're a lawbreaker. You have a restriction against you given to you by the police and shit. So you should be a badass. But no, your badass powers are... I can't carry eggs. If I'm in the house, egg, fine. As soon as I go outside, oh, egg, oh, no, snipers on me. You can't carry eggs in public. It makes you... I mean, look at me, right? I walk around in fucking superhero shirts and Pokemon tattooed to my legs, and I seem more badass than the person that's like, eggs are a no-go when I'm in public because I egg the queen or king. They might be the same thing, I don't know. Is 110%, I can't guarantee it, but I truly believe this is England. This has to be England. But man, baptised in flooded roundabout underpass. That's right, I think the underpass is the bits with the bridge and all that shit. I think that's what they are. I don't know the streets. I know how to bike to work and back and that's about it. I think it's a bridge underneath. There was obviously one flooded, and a couple of mates, I'm assuming it'd be a couple of them, one to do the baptism, one to be baptised. I think that's the right way you'd fucking think it. But yeah, you say, Richard, I've really wanted to be one with God. I've never been christened. It's like, oh, Michael, don't worry, mate. Water, we got down it, it's flooded, it's water. As long as I give it one of these and get your head wet, you'll be good to go. Oh, sweet, I need to confess all my sins and all that shit and be welcomed into the gates of heaven. And he's like, oh, don't worry, water. Underpass. It doesn't matter if it's piss water from the fucking river that's just flooded nearby, but hey up, water, you're good to go, and then you're in heaven. So it's like, yeah, let's go down the flood. No, you could have just went down to the local church, you could have done it in the bath, I'm assuming. I don't know where you can perform baptisms. I don't know how they have to be, like, do you have to go to any bit of water and just give it the fucking zigga and then do your shit, or where does, I don't know, but he's gone down there, Richard and whatever the fucking name I give him, Derek or Michael, some shit, and he's, yeah, there you go, good to go, all the shit you've done and committed, it's forgiven now, you're allowed in heaven, even though you're like a fucking Eggman. Maybe this was Eggman who's waiting, I can't carry eggs, I've done some bad shit, help me carry eggs, help me carry the burden. This next story, some poor sods ordered a Toby Carvery. I'm assuming it's meant to be like a sausage baguette or whatever, but the mum's put some sort of complaint in saying, it looks like they've delivered me E.T.'s finger because they've sent out what can only be described as some sort of donkey pig-looking dick inside of a bun that big. They've sent far too much sausage that outdoes the ratio of bun to sausage ratio. They've just sent a fucking massive... She's right, it does look like E.T.'s finger. That looks horrifying. I've gone a little bit off sausage. Not because of that, just in general, it's a bit gross. But they've sent that, and it's just come to think, all right, sweet. There's one, because that, to me anyway, this could be because I'm fat. I would eat that bun in a oneer. That's a one bun for me. That's a bun, one done, gone. And then the big massive E.T. finger. Well, I'm going to say E.T.'s dick. I want to say E.T. phone, blah, blah, blah. I want to say that shit, but... I've had that before as well. I've had it before where I've had like a burger and the bun's like that and the burger, the pate is like that and you're like, okay, great. There is no bun for my burger. It's just pate, but I don't mind. But when it becomes, if it was like a sausage baguette like that, no thank you, I don't want E.T.'s finger and a quarter of bun. Right, this could be one of the biggest murder cover-ups because whenever a wife goes missing, let's be honest with ourselves, 9 times out of 10 we think, all right, what's the husband done here? The husband's been a bit of a fucking, something fouls play, but we have an alien story, but there's obviously a lady gone missing. I don't know if she's still back, or if she's still back. I don't know if they've returned her. I don't know if she's kicking about somewhere. But apparently space aliens turned my wife into a toffee crisp. That's right, some guy's actually gone up there and said, oh, I'll pay you, police, but my wife's gone missing, I don't know where she's gone. It's okay, we'll look for her. A couple of days later, it's like, oh, she's returned. Oh, that's good to hear, we can close the case, she's back now. Kind of, she's a toffee crisp. What do you mean she's a toffee crisp? Well, my wife's here, but in a toffee crisp form. I'm assuming, right, say if this story was true, either the toffee crisp can talk, Or the aliens have said, we have brought your wife back, but she is toffee crisp. You humans like toffee crisp. I mean, I'll be raging like, listen, love. Can you make it a Kinder Bueno? Can you make it a Dairy Milk? Can you make it a actually, no. If my wife come back as a chocolate bar, well, my girlfriend. Remember my wife one day, if you're lucky enough. But if she come back as a chocolate bar, one that I loved, she'd be dead because she'd be eaten. And if she can talk and there's still a consciousness in there, she's going to... And it won't even... And sometimes the last little bit I like to suck and melt, and she's going to be like, oh, no, it all ceased to exist. So maybe she should come back as like a bounty. Who wants coconut and chocolate, you horrible little bastards. But yeah, this guy has obviously done some weird foul play with his wife. She's gone missing. He's thinking, I've got the perfect excuse, lads. Right, imagine this. I'm going to get off scot-free. And they're like, oh, how are you going to do it, Ricky? How are you going to get away from the disappearance of your murder, the murder or whatever of your wife? How are you going to get away with it? I'm going to tell the public, the police, her family, alien took her and brought her back as a toffee crisp. And they're like, that is fucking genius. That is absolutely genius, Ricky. No one's going to question that, you knobhead. Yeah, apparently she's back as a toffee crisp. Visuals, that was this week's Canoosy News. But before we go, we got to give you the sports, the weather, the rest of the shenanigans that's got to come before we go. And this week's sports and weather, if I can read my writing today, and of course, no, I fucking can't. It's very much just a panda-themed sports, weather, and dance happy ending this week. I've fallen in love with them TikTok channels, or whatever you call them, of just how a panda's still alive and how the panda still exists. And I thought I would share, I know we've done pandas before, but I thought I would share the love of panda shenanigans yet again. So here we go. Some pandas doing some shit. It's the sports, but it's not really the sports because we don't actually talk about sports. I used to do sports, but then I got really fat. I think this is one of the first ones falling out, whatever it is. It's a panda falling from somewhere anyway. But how the fuck are they made? Pandas must be made of some sort of absorbing material or just industry. I genuinely have it in my head now because I've seen pandas fall from some decent heights. Like, I feel like they could fall from like 100, 200 feet, they'll land and they just... That was mad, that. And they were carrying on about the day. They're like a different breed. We're going about like how badass the honey badger is, or some, you know, spiders can fuck shit up with venom and that, and alligators and sharks. You know, the panda could be the most legit badass animal that's ever fucking lived. The buggers are just unbreakable. Time for the weather, where I'm not going to tell you anything about the weather. If you do need to know that, just look outside your window. Back with the weather, more panda, but this time I think it's the one where like there's one that sort of pushed his mate out of a tree and is like, oh fuck. They do a lot of that shit to each other as well. They do a lot of pushing each other off stuff, grabbing that, or if one's falling, it'll take another one with it, and they're both like, oh, what the fuck's happened here then? I don't know if it's a case, maybe they are in pain, they're just too dumb to realise, I don't know. And it's also false advertising because you see shit like this they're playing together. I feel like I can go up to any panda in the world and have fun with it, but I still think if you were to see one in the wild, it'd be very much like meeting a bear, and it might fuck you up. If I'm wrong on that, someone correct me, but I feel like it is, because they're still like strong and powerful. But when you see this shit, you just feel like they just want to roll around and get dirty and just fucking not give a fuck and be like, oh yeah, sweet, we'll play in some mud, we'll fall off a tree. Fuck, what are they made of? It's the sports, and before we go, it is Dan's happy ending, where this time we're going to see what it looks like for a panda during the Panda Wars. Remember the famous wars of the Panda Wars of 2942 AD, what's that one? Anno Domini. And what's the other one? BC. Before it happened Anno Domini. The famous Panda Wars. Here's how it looked.
Oh look, it's that fat lad. It's Dan. Ugly Dan, and he's really, really fat.
Here we go, we've got the Panda Wars of whatever year I said, 2047 AD or some shit like that. And it's some proper laser fire going down. The panda's like, fuck this table cover. We don't see any return fire though. We don't know if this particular panda general got out of this battle, got out of this conflict. Maybe it was a sacrifice to let his panda platoon, yeah, the film's called Platoon, get out and whatever. But I feel like even like a laser or whatever's being, obviously it's not real, don't worry. I don't think I've fooled you with anything here. It's not real. But even so, I don't think any sort of nuclear weapon, laser weapon, machine gun, grenade, sword, lightsaber would fuck up a panda. I feel like it would just sort of ricochet them, like, what the fuck happened there? They're like I said, they're a different species. But that was an exclusive clip of the Panda famous wars of 2082 AD. Was it AD? The famous Panda War. Now visuals, that was this week's Canoosy News. If you did enjoy it, please, we'll boost Canoosy. And remember, go check out Dan's Talking Crap over on Spotify. And check out the rest of the Visual Guys YouTube channel. The Lego stuff lately seems to be taken off. Maybe we should just become a Lego channel. I like Lego. More importantly, more specifically, you guys are literally the fucking best. But remember, always keep being you and keep on keeping on. Have a lovely weekend. I'm going to go clip my toenails. They're a bit sandy. She sells seashells down by the seashore. 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 I think I've got it nailed down. I can fucking sell me some she snails down the seashore. Ah!